Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like English is sitting in your brain, but not in your mouth? You know the words. You've studied grammar. You passed tests. But when it's time to speak, your mind freezes. You search for the right word. You translate. You panic. And finally, you say nothing. If that sounds like you, you're not alone. And this episode is for you. Today, we're going to talk about a life-changing idea. One simple shift that will make your English smoother, more natural, and more confident. It's this. You must learn to think in English. Thinking in English is not magic. It's a skill. And just like any skill, it can be built, step by step. We're going to walk that path together. You will hear real stories. You will try small challenges. And most importantly, you will discover how to stop translating and start flowing. Let's begin. Let's meet Nina. Nina is a student who lives in a small apartment near her university. Every morning she wakes up early, makes tea, checks her phone, and gets dressed. But here's the problem. All these actions happen in silence, in her native language. She doesn't speak. She doesn't think in English. She studies hard, yes. She reads textbooks. She watches YouTube. But when she walks outside and sees a stranger, her brain goes blank. Why? Because English was something she studied, not something she lived. This is the first truth you need to hear. To speak better English, you have to live in English, even inside your head. You have to become aware of your inner voice. What language is it using? When you see a dog on the street, do you think dog, or chien, or concho, or kucha? If it's not English, that's where we start. Try this simple habit. Wherever you are, right now, start naming the things around you in English. Look up. What do you see? A ceiling, a fan, a light. Look to your side. A cup, a pen, a phone. Say it out loud if you can. Whisper it if you can't. Just use English. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about long sentences. Just say the words. Slowly. Gently. Like a baby learning to speak. Why is this powerful? Because it's the first crack in the wall between studying English and thinking in English. You're training your brain to switch languages. You're creating new roads, neural pathways inside your mind. It's simple, it's free, and it works. In a small town, there was a man named David who owned a little shop. He didn't go to school. He didn't have English books. But he had one dream, to speak English well. Every morning when he opened his store, he said, "Good morning, David. How are you today?" He laughed. He answered himself. "I'm good, thank you. The weather is hot, but I feel great." When he sold apples, he would whisper, "This is a red apple. That is a green one, $1 each." His neighbors thought he was a little strange. But after 6 months, a tourist came to his store. And David smiled. He didn't freeze. He didn't panic. He spoke English. Simple, clean, calm. Because he had been thinking in English. Every day. Not in a classroom, not on paper, but in life. You can do the same. The enemy. Translation. Let's talk about the biggest problem. Translation. It feels natural, right? You think in your language and you change it into English, but this creates 3 problems. It's slow. It's stressful. It's not real communication. Real speaking is fast, alive. There's no time to stop, translate, and go. If you want to speak fluently, you must stop translating. How? By filling your brain with English thoughts, by surrounding yourself with English sounds, by choosing English again and again, every moment you can. Listen, repeat. Think there's a 3-step method that works for almost everyone. Step 1. Listen. Watch or listen to something in English. Choose a short clip, maybe 2 minutes. Step 2. Repeat. Repeat what you hear. Try to copy the voice, the tone, the pauses, not just the words, but the music of the sentence. Step 3. Think. Now turn off the audio. Say it again, by yourself, not perfectly, but naturally. Then try this. Take a walk, and repeat the lines in your head as you go. Whisper them. Make them part of your thoughts. This is how you train your inner voice. This is how you begin to think in English. Mindset shift. Mistakes are your friend. Many learners are afraid to speak because they don't want to make mistakes. But here's the truth. Mistakes are not the enemy. Silence is. If you speak wrong but you try, that's success. If you wait to be perfect, you'll wait forever. Thinking in English means letting go of fear. It means choosing progress over perfection. Your English will grow faster when you use it, even with small mistakes. Your confidence will rise when your brain stops needing to check everything before speaking. So speak. Think. Be free. A mother in a new land. Maria moved to a new country with her 2 young children. She didn't speak English well, but she had to survive. She went to the market. She watched people talk. She listened. At night, she would stand in front of the mirror and practice. Good morning. How are you? I want to buy this. She would point at her toothpaste and say, This is toothpaste. I brush my teeth. Teeth, brush. She didn't wait for a class. She didn't wait to be perfect. She thought in English every chance she got. 2 years later, she was speaking fluently, not because she memorized every rule, but because English lived in her mind day and night. The mirror technique. This method is powerful and simple. Stand in front of a mirror. Look at yourself. Imagine you're talking to someone. Start small. Hi, my name is Anna. I live in a small house. Add more. I like cooking. I cooked rice yesterday. Today I'll cook chicken. Talk to yourself like you're your own friend. Make eye contact. Smile. The mirror helps you connect your mind to your mouth. It helps you feel like you're having a real conversation. This small practice can change everything because it teaches you not to fear your own voice. The security. Guard who learned with headphones. Ravi worked night shifts as a security guard. The building was quiet. He had long hours and no one to talk to, but Ravi had one tool, his headphones. He listened to English podcasts. He paused. He repeated. Sometimes he didn't understand everything, but he kept going. When he looked at a chair, he said in his head, That's a chair. I sit on it. It's brown. It looks old. He would describe the hallway, the elevator, even the clock. At first, it was slow, but after a few months, the sentences came faster. He stopped translating. He started thinking in English. And one night, a visitor came who spoke only English. Ravi didn't freeze. He smiled and helped. All those silent nights were not wasted. They built his confidence. Use simple sentences in your head. One of the easiest ways to think in English is to create short, simple sentences about your life. For example, I am walking. I am eating breakfast. This coffee is hot. That boy is running. It might seem too easy, but this is how fluency begins. Speak to yourself like you would speak to a child, clear, direct, and real. Don't aim for big grammar. aim for understanding. Fluency grows from comfort, not from complication. The grandmother who learned through songs. There was a woman in her 60s who wanted to learn English for her grandchildren. She had no books, no classroom, but she had a radio. She listened to songs every morning. She sang along. She didn't understand every word, but she repeated what she heard. Then she looked in the mirror and sang again. Soon, she began to describe her day like a song. I wake up. I smile. I drink tea. The sun is up. She turned her routine into music, and soon her English became part of her thoughts, sweet, soft, and flowing. When her grandkids visited, she welcomed them in English. Their faces lit up. She didn't speak fast, but every word came from the heart, and every word was hers. Make it part of your day. You don't need extra time. You just need small windows of focus. While brushing your teeth, say, I am brushing. My teeth. This is a toothbrush. I do it every morning. When you walk, say in your head, I see trees. The sun is bright. The road is long. When you cook, say, this is garlic. I'm cutting it. It smells strong. It's not about grammar. It's about connection. When English becomes the language of your daily thoughts, speaking becomes natural. Don't worry about mistakes. Just flow. Many people stop themselves from thinking in English because they fear doing it wrong. But here's the truth. Your brain doesn't need perfect grammar to learn. It needs repetition, rhythm, practice. Imagine a child learning to speak. They don't say everything perfectly. They try. They laugh. They get better. You're the same. Let your English flow. Don't stop it with fear. The baker who talked to his ingredients. Amir was a baker. He didn't have time to sit in class, but he wanted to learn English, so he made a game. Each morning when he baked bread, he talked to the flour. Hello, flour. You are soft. I mix you with water. This is salt. This is yeast. His hands worked. His mind spoke. After weeks, the words came faster. He described everything he did, kneading, shaping, baking. One day, a tourist came into his shop and asked questions in English. Amir answered with joy. Because he had practiced every day, without a classroom, without a book, just with his daily life. You can too. Your inner voice is your teacher. You don't need to wait for a teacher. You don't need to wait for school. Your inner voice can become your best English coach. Here's how. Keep it simple. Use it daily. Connect it to actions. Don't judge it. The more you use English inside your mind, the more natural it becomes. And one day, when someone asks you a question in English, you'll find that the words are already waiting. What happens when you think in English? Let's imagine two people. The first studies English for hours every week. He memorizes lists, he reviews grammar, but when he speaks, it's slow, hesitant. Why? Because his brain still thinks in his native language. The second person studies less but speaks more. She talks to herself. She names what she sees. She thinks in English. When someone asks her a question, the words come easily, not perfectly, but naturally. Why? Because her brain has changed. It now holds English as a living language, not a school subject. This is the result of thinking in English. Your reactions get faster, your confidence grows, and your fear begins to disappear. The bus driver who practiced on the road, Carlos drove a city bus every day. His route was long, his time was quiet. At first, he listened to music. Then he started listening to English stories. After a week, he began to repeat phrases out loud. When he saw a dog, he'd say, "A black dog is crossing the street." When he stopped the bus, he'd say, "Now I stop." "People are coming in. Hello, thank you. Sit down." No one heard him, but his brain was training. By the end of the month, Carlos was not just repeating. He was thinking. He wasn't translating anymore. He was using English with ease. And the best part? He never opened a textbook. Try this. Narrate your daily routine in first person. I wake up. I open the window. I brush my hair. I drink warm water. I check my phone. I feel sleepy, but I smile. Do this slowly. Softly. Say each sentence as you do it. Let your brain hear English while your body moves. This is how you blend language with life. This is how you stop separating English time from real time. Because every moment is English time, if you choose it. The teenager who spoke with her posters. Layla was a shy teenager. She loved English but feared speaking. One day she printed pictures of her favorite celebrities. She taped them on her wall. Then she stood in front of them and talked. "Hi, Taylor. How are you?" "I'm good. I had a long day." She shared her feelings, her plans, her small dreams, every evening, alone. At first, she laughed at herself. Then she began to enjoy it. After 6 months, her English teacher noticed. Her speaking had improved dramatically. She didn't speak to people. She spoke to her posters, and they never judged her. That was her secret practice, and it worked. Break the rule of perfection. Many learners believe they must speak perfect English. That's a trap. Fluency does not mean perfection. It means freedom. It means comfort. It means being able to express yourself, even when the sentence isn't perfect. Thinking in English helps you become free. Because when you think in English, you learn how English feels, not just how it's written. You learn tone, speed, flow. You stop focusing on every word and start focusing on meaning. That's fluency. That's confidence. That's the goal. The street vendor who described her food. May sold noodles on a busy corner. She didn't go to school, but she wanted to speak to tourists. So she started thinking in English while cooking. This is rice noodle. I add fish sauce. I mix it. Now it's hot. She said it every day. Same actions, same thoughts, same rhythm. Soon her sentences grew longer. I make this fresh. You can add chili if you like spicy. One day a traveler stopped, asked a question. May answered in clear, simple English. Her heart beat fast, but her words didn't fail, all because she trained her thoughts with the tools she already had, her food, her voice, her mind. Observe. Notice. Describe. Look around you. There is always something you can describe. The street, the sky, your shoes, the people walking past. Use simple words. She wears a red dress. He is talking on the phone. It looks like it might rain. You don't need fancy vocabulary. You need awareness. You need consistency. English is not just something you speak. It's something you see, something you hear, something you think. The chef who spoke into his phone. Ben was a chef, busy, tired, always moving. But he wanted to improve his speaking. He had one trick: voice memos. Every break, he opened his phone and recorded. Today I made beef stew. It smelled amazing. My team worked fast. He didn't post it. He didn't share it. But he listened to himself. Then the next day, he added more. He described how he felt, what went well, what didn't. Over time, his sentences became smoother. He began thinking in English even while chopping onions. It didn't take extra hours. Just intention. The habit of shadow speaking. Here's another powerful method, shadow speaking. Step 1. Choose a video or audio clip you like. Step 2. Play a few seconds. Step 3. Pause and say it right after the speaker. Try to match the sound, the speed, the feeling. Do it again. Repeat it. Then turn off the audio and say it from memory. Finally, close your eyes. Say the words again, but imagine the speaker's voice in your head. This final part is important because it builds your English thinking. Your brain starts to hear English internally. That's how you move from learning to living the language. The girl who lived with English voices. Aiko loved English dramas. She watched them every evening. But one day, she did something different. She muted the sound, and she said the lines herself. At first, she remembered just a few words, but soon, she could say whole scenes. She walked around the room acting like the characters, and something happened. Her thoughts started forming in English, automatically. She wasn't translating anymore. She was imagining scenes, talking, thinking, dreaming. English became a voice in her head, and that voice became stronger every day. We often think in our first language when we feel something deeply. Joy, fear, anger, love. But you can train your emotions to speak English too. When you're happy, say in your head, I feel excited. Today is beautiful. When you're upset, try, I feel tired. I need rest. It's okay. This builds connection between your emotions and the English language. And that's when fluency becomes real. Because fluency is not only about grammar. It's about expressing your true self, your feelings, your reactions, your soul. The artist who painted in English. Lena painted quiet pictures of nature. One day, she decided to name every brushstroke. This is the sky. The sky is calm. I use blue. It feels soft. Then she started describing her thoughts. I want this to feel like morning, fresh, light, free. She spoke to her canvas in English. She didn't care about mistakes. She only cared about the feeling. Her painting became her practice. And slowly, her thoughts in English became beautiful, like her art, internal dialogue practice. Try this. Have small conversations with yourself during the day. You can pretend you're ordering food. Hello, I'd like a coffee, please. Yes, 1 sugar. Thank you. Or pretend you're giving directions. Go straight, then turn left. The bookstore is next to the bank. You don't need real people. You only need your imagination. Because every sentence you build in your mind is a step forward. And over time, these quiet moments create real fluency. The farmer who talked to his goats. Tariq lived on a hillside with his goats. He had no internet, no school, no English friends. But he had curiosity. Each day, he spoke to his goats in English. You are hungry today. I see. You want grass. Here, eat. He told them stories. He described the clouds, the hills, the wind. He didn't know he was learning. But 6 months later, a visitor passed by and asked for help in English. Tariq answered clearly, slowly, honestly, because he had built English in his thoughts, far away from classrooms, just with nature and goats. Think in present moment English. Here's a small secret. The present moment is your best practice space. Focus on what is happening now. I am walking. The sun is shining. I feel the wind. There is a bird. Simple. Clear. Now. These present moment sentences create a peaceful rhythm in your thoughts, and they prepare your mind to respond faster when someone speaks to you. Because you're already in English mode. The nurse who spoke her shift out loud. Grace worked long nights in a hospital. She didn't have time to attend English school, but she found her method. She spoke her tasks aloud while working. I need to change the bed. I will bring water. This patient is sleeping. At first, she whispered. Then she spoke louder. Her coworkers noticed, and after a few weeks, she was the one helping translate for new nurses. She didn't read grammar books. She used her life as her language classroom. Turn. Thinking into storytelling. Instead of just naming things, begin telling small stories in your head. I woke up late today. I rushed to get ready. I forgot my keys. I laughed at myself. Or, I went to the shop. I bought rice and eggs. The cashier was kind. These tiny stories build flow, and flow creates fluency. Because language is more than labels. It's life, in motion. Practice building your day into a mini-story. It's one of the most powerful thinking habits. The father who made bedtime stories in English. Joseph had 2 young kids. He wanted to improve his English, but also spend time with his children. So, he began telling them bedtime stories in English. He kept it simple. Once upon a time, there was a bear. He lived in a tree. One day, he found honey. The kids loved it. And Joseph noticed something. He stopped translating. His mind moved naturally in English, because he was focused on story, not grammar. The more he told stories, the better he spoke, the better he thought. The more you use it, the less you translate. Here's a quiet truth most learners discover too late. The longer you avoid thinking in English, the harder speaking becomes, but the more you try, the easier it gets. At first it's slow, then it becomes automatic. Just like riding a bicycle. At first it's awkward, then your balance comes. Then you move with freedom. English is the same. Balance your thoughts in English, and speaking will come. The woman who cooked her way to fluency. Nadia loved cooking. Every time she made something new, she practiced English. I'm cutting onions, this smells good. I boil water now. I add salt. She even recorded herself and played it back. Her kitchen became her classroom. After 6 months, she hosted a foreign guest, and she described each dish in English with confidence, not because she studied, but because she lived English in her own way. Imagine conversations before they happen. Do you ever worry about speaking English in the future? Before a meeting? Before a phone call? Before ordering food? Instead of waiting for that moment with fear, prepare your mind. Close your eyes and imagine the conversation. Picture yourself saying, "Hello, I'd like a table for 2." Or, "I'm calling to ask about my package." Even if the exact moment never happens, this mental practice trains your brain. You begin to speak in English before reality demands it. So when the moment comes, your words are ready, the teacher who practiced questions in her mind. Fatima was a science teacher. She was good at explaining things in her language, but shy when it came to English. So each morning she practiced 5 simple questions in her head. What is your name? Where are you from? How do you feel today? What did you eat? What do you need? She used these in her mind while walking, cooking, even before sleeping. Then, One day, a volunteer from another country visited her school. And guess what? Fatima didn't freeze. She smiled and asked those same questions with calm, clear English. Build your own daily phrase bank. Make a list of 10 short, useful phrases in English. Keep them simple and practical, like I'm hungry. It's too hot. I don't understand. Can you help me? This is interesting. Use them in your thoughts all day. Repeat them when you walk, clean, or rest. Soon, they will become automatic. Your brain won't translate them anymore. They'll just come. That's what thinking in English feels like, the student who talked to her plants. Alina was shy. She lived alone and didn't have many people to practice English with. But she had plants. Each day she spoke to them in English. You look happy. Today. I forgot to water you yesterday. I'm sorry. Your leaves are growing. Good job. It felt silly at first, but it made her smile, and more importantly, it made her speak. She started thinking in English without fear, because her plants never corrected her. They simply listened. When you describe what you see, you build vocabulary. But when you describe what you feel, you build fluency. I'm nervous. I feel proud. This is confusing. I'm not sure, but I will try. These are the kinds of thoughts we have every day. If you can learn to express them in English, you unlock a deeper level of fluency. You're not just naming things. You're living in English emotionally. The driver, who rehearsed interviews in his mind. Pablo was applying for a job at a hotel. He wanted to be ready for the interview but had no one to practice with, so during his daily drive he rehearsed answers aloud. Tell me about yourself. I am hardworking. I love helping guests. I'm learning English every day. He spoke, with confidence, not because he was perfect, but because he had already had the interview 100 times in his mind. He got the job. Thinking in English had made the real moment easier. Because it wasn't new anymore. It felt familiar. Embrace. Silent moments as practice time. You don't need to speak English aloud all the time. Silent moments are powerful too. In the shower, on the bus, waiting in line. Use these times to think in English. Describe your thoughts. Replay a conversation. Plan your next sentence. These quiet sessions build fluency slowly and steadily. You are teaching your brain that English is part of life, not just part of school. The waiter who copied customers' sentences. Jake worked in a cafe. Tourists came, in every day. He listened to what they said. Can I get a cappuccino? I'll have that to go. Excuse me, do you have almond milk? He didn't interrupt them. He just repeated the sentences in his mind. Then, later, when he had time, he whispered those same phrases to himself. Within weeks, he had 100 new sentences in his memory, all because he turned real life into his English classroom. Train your English thinking before bed. As you lie down, close your eyes and recap your day in English. What did you do? What did you eat? How did you feel? Tell your day's story in short sentences. I woke up early. I went to work. I was tired, but I smiled. It helps you sleep with English in your thoughts, and you'll wake up with that rhythm still inside you. The retired man who built his own dialogues. George was retired. He had time, but few people to talk to. So every day he wrote short dialogues in his notebook. He'd imagine a man at the bank, a woman at the park, two friends meeting at a cafe. Then he'd read them out loud. He even changed his voice for each person. His wife thought it was funny. But after a few months, George could speak with real people using the same sentences. He had practiced alone. He trained his English mind through imagination. Use music lyrics as inner speech. Songs are great for building English thoughts. Choose one you like. Learn the chorus. Then repeat it silently throughout the day. I'm walking on sunshine. Let it go. I believe I can fly. These lines stick, and they start popping up in your mind when you feel something similar. That's the brain learning rhythm, emotion, and expression in English. The girl who walked and spoke, Sarah, was nervous about her English speaking, so she made a decision. Every time she walked home from school, she would talk out loud. She described everything. The sun is hot today. There's a red car on the left. I feel tired, but I'm happy. At first she stumbled, she paused often. She made mistakes, but she kept going. After 1 month, those walks became her favorite part of the day. Her thoughts flowed, her voice was clearer, and when a foreigner asked for directions, she answered with no fear. Sarah didn't need a teacher. She needed the road, her voice, and a little courage. Become your own English coach. You are with yourself all day. That means you have the best practice partner already, with you always. Speak to yourself. Ask yourself questions. Correct yourself gently. Celebrate progress. Say things like, "That was a good sentence. I forgot the word, but that's okay. I'll try again." This kind of inner talk builds confidence, and it helps you become your own coach, your own encourager. Because if you're kind to yourself in English, you'll keep going. The student who pretended to be a news anchor. Rami loved watching the news. One day he stood in front of the mirror and said, "This is Rami, reporting live from the kitchen." He laughed. Then he described what he saw. "My mom is cooking. The smell is delicious. She adds tomatoes." He made it a game, and each day his reports grew longer. Soon, he stopped needing a script. He was thinking in English, imagining stories, building fluency with fun. That playfulness helped him learn faster than ever. The power of repetition. Thinking in English is not about knowing everything. It's about using something, again and again. Repetition is your friend. Repeat your favorite sentences. Repeat your questions. Repeat your mini stories. The more you repeat, the more natural it becomes. And repetition is how we build roads in the brain. Not by doing something once, but by doing it again and again until it becomes automatic. The woman who cleaned with English, Lena, was a housekeeper. She didn't have time for classes, but every day while cleaning, she talked in English. "I'm sweeping the floor. The window is dirty. I clean it now." She made it part of her rhythm. One day, a hotel guest asked her for help in English. Lena answered confidently, because she had practiced that exact conversation in her mind many times. Use questions to think faster. Asking questions is one of the fastest ways to train your English mind. Why? Because questions create answers, and answers build sentences. Try this. What am I doing? I am eating. How do I feel? I feel cold. What's outside? I see trees and birds. Each question opens a door, and your mind begins to answer in English without waiting. The security guard who used reflection time. James worked long, silent night shifts. He had a notebook where he wrote simple questions. What did I do today? What was difficult? What am I grateful for? Then he answered them aloud in English. It became his routine, and it changed everything. He started to think about his day in English, and thinking became speaking. The brain loves patterns. Patterns are easier to remember than single words. So when you think in English, use patterns like I like, I need, I feel, I went. Keep them simple. Repeat them often. These little sentence starters help you form full thoughts quickly, and they remove the need to translate. The fisherman who practiced on the water. Don lived by the sea. Each morning he went fishing alone. No phones, no noise. Just him and the waves, and in that quiet, he spoke English. I hope I catch something today. The water is calm. I see a boat in the distance. Fishing became his language lab, and soon, English felt as natural as the sea breeze. Embrace. Slow, daily growth. Don't rush fluency. Let it come slowly, just like a plant growing from a seed. Every sentence you think in English is one drop of water. Every daily effort is sunlight. Keep going, keep nurturing. Your English will bloom. The grandmother who prayed in English. Anita spoke her prayers every night before bed. One evening, she tried praying in English. She said, "Thank you for this day. I am tired, but I am grateful. Please help me tomorrow." It was soft, gentle, not perfect, but powerful. Her English became part of her most sacred time. And because of that, her thoughts changed. She started feeling in English. And that was the start of real transformation, the boy who talked to the stars. Ali loved looking at the night sky. He didn't have anyone to speak with at night, so he whispered to the stars. I saw a cat today. It was black. It followed me. I want to speak English well. I will practice every night. He shared his dreams in English, under the moonlight, and though no one heard him, his thoughts grew stronger. Day by day, the stars became his quiet listeners, and his confidence began to shine. Learn from what you already know. You don't need to start from zero. You already know many English words. Use them. Build your thoughts around what you already understand. If you know I'm hungry, say it. If you know I want coffee, think it. Don't wait for advanced vocabulary. Fluency starts from the words you already carry inside. The tailor who measured with English. Naveen was a tailor. He spent hours with fabric, thread, and tape. He started describing his actions in English. I cut the cloth. I sew the sleeve. This will be a dress. At first, the words were few, but day by day, his sentences grew. He even began imagining customer conversations in English. When a traveler walked in one day, he was ready. No panic, no fear, just simple English spoken from months of quiet thought. Build your story in chunks. You don't have to tell a full story all at once. Start with small chunks. This morning, I woke up early. I made tea. It was quiet. This afternoon, I went outside. The sun was bright. I walked slowly. These little parts connect, and soon you're telling stories. Not long. Perfect. Ones, but real, human ones. That's the English people understand and love. The grocer who mimicked his customers. Ben worked in a small grocery store. He always listened carefully. When customers spoke English, he paid attention. Later, he would repeat their words in his head. Where's the milk? How much is this? Do you have change? He repeated these again and again. And one day when someone asked the same question, he answered with ease. Not because he memorized, but because he listened, repeated, thought. Use your environment. As a teacher, everything around you can become an English lesson. Look at your bag. This is my bag. It's black. I carry it every day. Open the fridge. Milk, eggs, carrots. They are fresh. Look at your hands. My hands are dry. I need, lotion. Turn your life into language, not with pressure, but with presence, the cleaner who spoke through her work. Jenny cleaned hotel rooms. She often felt invisible, but she began using her job to practice. This bed is messy, I will fix it. This towel is wet, I need a dry one. Her hands cleaned. Her mind spoke, and over time she found her voice. Soft at first, then steady, then strong, notice. English in the world around you. Signs, labels, logos, ads. When you walk through your town, read everything in English. Even if it's in your local language, translate it silently. Or say, if I had to explain this in English, what would I say? That small mental shift turns every street into a classroom. Every sign becomes a teacher. The boy who learned from bus stops, Leo took the same. Bus every day. At each stop, there was a sign, bakery, pharmacy, school. He began describing each one. I see a bakery. They sell bread. It smells nice. By the time he got off, he had made 20 sentences in his head. No notebook, no lesson. Just the city. And his thoughts. Don't wait for speaking time. The biggest mistake? Waiting for the right time to speak English. In class, on a call, at a meeting. But the best time is always now. Speak in your head when you wake up, when you walk, when you eat. Every moment is the right moment, if you choose it. Thinking in English doesn't need permission, just intention. The girl who practiced at the market, nor went to the market every weekend. Before speaking to the vendor, she rehearsed her English. I want 2 apples, please. How much is this? Can I have a bag? She thought it first, then said it. And each week she grew more confident. Her thoughts became action, and her action became skill. Use English to plan your day. Start each morning by planning in English. Say it aloud or in your mind. Today I will go shopping. I have a meeting at 10. I'll cook rice for dinner. Simple thoughts. Future focused. This practice connects what's coming with how you think. It builds forward-thinking fluency. The man who spoke to his reflection. Ethan didn't have friends to practice English with, so each morning he looked in the mirror and asked, "What will you do today?" And he answered, "I'll finish my report. Then I'll call my mother. I'll drink coffee at noon." His reflection didn't laugh. His reflection didn't judge. It just listened, and that was enough. Enough to make him believe in his own English. Review your day in English before bed. Close your eyes and go through your day, step by step. But do it in English. I woke up late. I made coffee. I met a friend. I felt tired in the afternoon. These thoughts are private, gentle, and powerful. No one needs to hear them. But they will transform the way your brain holds English. The man who spoke to his dog, Peter, lived alone, but he had a dog. Each morning, he greeted him in English. "Good morning, buddy. Did you sleep well? Time for breakfast. Let's go outside." He used his dog as his English partner. Day by day, the dog didn't change, but Peter did. His thoughts were quicker. His mouth was smoother. His fear began to fade. because he practiced without stress, and love made learning easier. Think in English. During emotional moments when you're feeling strong emotions, try using English. When you're sad, I feel low. I don't know why, but it will pass. When you're excited, this is great. I can't wait to share this. When you're scared, I'm nervous, but I will try. These moments create deep connections in the brain. You don't forget what you feel. So when you feel in English, your fluency deepens. The mother who used English to comfort herself, Maya, was overwhelmed. She was tired. She missed home. One day she looked in the mirror and said softly, "You are doing your best. You are strong. You are learning." She didn't cry that time. She smiled. Because the English words felt like a hug from herself. That was the day she stopped fearing English and started using it as a friend. Imagine English scenes daily. Create scenes in your mind. Use your imagination like a film. You're at a restaurant. You're at the airport. You're meeting someone new. Think through it. Feel the words coming naturally. This is not wasting time. It's silent training. And it works. The boy who drew and described Alex loved drawing. Each time he finished a picture, he gave it a title in English. Then he started describing them aloud. This is a bird. It's flying across the sea. This is a monster. He looks angry, but he's kind. His English grew with his art, and soon he was drawing and storytelling at the same time. Two skills growing together. Speak what you do. Speak what you see. Keep it simple. Talk about the real world around you. I am washing dishes. The baby is sleeping. It's raining now. There's a car outside. These short sentences are building blocks. Use them daily. Repeat them. Let them flow. Over time, your thoughts will stop asking, "How do I say that?" They will just say it. The woman who spoke through her walking stick. Helena was older. She walked slowly, but her mind was sharp. With every step, she spoke in English. 1, 2, 3, the sun is warm. My legs are tired, but I'm moving. Her walking became her practice. Her pain became her push. She didn't learn fast, but she never stopped. And one day, at the market, she answered a tourist question with a full smile and a full sentence. Become your own English world. You don't need to travel. You don't need to move. You just need to think. Build your English world inside your mind. Use your home, your street, your thoughts. Speak about them in English. Make your small world your language classroom. The one who never gave up. There was a learner who doubted themselves. They made mistakes. They forgot words. They felt slow. But each day they spoke in their head. They named what they saw. They described what they felt. They imagined what could happen. And one day someone asked, "How did you learn to speak so well?" And they said, "I spoke to myself when no one listened. I thought in English when no one heard. I kept going when no one clapped." That's the truth. That's the path. That's how fluency is built. Think first. Speak easy. Thinking in English isn't just a technique. It's a way of living the language. It's how you prepare. It's how you become ready. It's your silent practice, your invisible classroom, your private progress, and it's available to you every second. So start now. Describe what's in front of you. Whisper what you feel. Build tiny stories in your mind. Let English become part of your inner world. so that when the outer world needs it, you'll be ready, not perfect, but powerful, because now you don't just study English, you live it. Now take a breath. You've just walked through a new way of learning, not with pressure, not with perfection, but with presence. Because English is not just a subject in a book. It's a part of your voice, a part of your thoughts, a part of who you are becoming. You don't need to wait for a classroom. You don't need more grammar rules. You need courage, repetition, kindness to yourself, and one small choice each day to think in English. Maybe today, that means whispering your feelings. Maybe tomorrow, it's describing your breakfast. Maybe next week, it's answering a stranger with a smile. That's how it begins. You are not too late. You are not too slow. And you are not alone. Every great speaker once whispered to themselves. Every fluent voice once stumbled in silence. So let your English be messy, let it be gentle, let it be yours. And most of all, keep thinking in English, because one day soon, when someone speaks to you, you'll smile. And without fear, the words will come. Thank you for joining me. Keep practicing, keep growing, and remember, fluency doesn't live in your mouth first. It lives in your mind.